Tie-dye clothing your grandma would die for. Tie-dye clothing isn't just for grandmas anymore. It's become mainstream and part of the commercial vehicle the hippies detested so much. The history behind the tie-dye clothing is something every good hippie, clothes-loving bohemian should know a little bit about. Though Americans typically associate this fabric with the 60s and the hippie movement, many different cultures throughout the world use this type of dyeing in modern ways. Tie-dye fashion became all the rage beginning in the late 60s and early 70s out west where the counterculture movement was underway. Places like the Haight were filled to the brim with tie-dye fabric, which became tie-dye dresses, shirts, tapestries, and so much more. I've even seen vehicles that look tie-dyed. Many of the 60s musicians like Janis Joplin, the Grateful Dead, and Joe Cocker wore tie-dyed t-shirts, skirts, dresses, and more. Tie-dye clothing is dyed by folding material into various patterns, tying the cloth to hold that shape with string or rubber bands. Then dye is used on only certain parts of the fabric. Because the ties keep the rest of the clothing from getting dye on it, patterns of various shades and white or non-dyed sections result. You can form different tie-dye clothing designs using various colors as well as different tying patterns. This is typically done on wet cloth because it takes the dye easier.